Marshal BraveStarr's log. A fresh start and fortune's hunt. Howdy, partner. Today's run starts in the glitzy cold of New Babbage, where I'm picking up my recruit. Now, she ain't your usual greenhorn. She's got a wild streak about her, something that Pyro tends to leave on folks. Knocked her head pretty hard chasing Copians, those wild space dogs that'll eat you if you ain't careful. And let's just say she ain't quite been the same since. Got a sharp, mean streak when pushed, but she's still got enough sense to know when to keep her blaster holstered. Usually. She's setting up shop at Port Tressler, so I fire up my Fortune-class salvager and bring her in smooth for pickup. The ship's a single-seater, which means my recruit's got just one place to sit. The bed in the back. Suits her fine, though. She throws her pack down, sprawls out, and starts muttering about how the cold on this rock is worse than a bad debt in Pyro. I pull us up through the atmosphere, engines humming as we pierce the winter sky and slip into the black. Port Tressler ain't far, and before long we dock up and get our new home set. No more New Babbage, no more crowds. Just the void and the freedom to carve out a future. But before setting off, we take a moment to refuel. Not just the ship, but ourselves. A quick stop for some Double Dogs hot dogs hits the spot, the perfect bite before heading back into the black. Nothing like a good meal to keep the adventure going. With that done, it's time to get to work. We set our sights on Microtech's open wilderness, looking for salvage. A little light exploration, maybe a wreck or two to scrape down for credits. She lounges in the back, watching the snow roll by through the porthole while I keep the scanners humming. The airwaves are quiet. Too quiet. Then a ping. Metal buried deep in the drifts. Could be a wreck. Could be junk. Could be a trap. Only one way to find out. I ease the Fortune down, thrusters kicking up frost as we set down light as a whisper. She sits up, cracks her neck, and grins that half-feral Pyro grin. Hope this one's got some meat on the bones, she mutters. I chuckle, pop the hatch, and step into the cold. Time to see what the verse has left behind for us to claim. Turns out not much. The two wrecks we found had already been picked clean by other salvagers. All that was left were a few scraps. Not worth the power it'd take to strip them down. That's the gamble with salvage. Sometimes you hit pay dirt. Sometimes all you find is someone else's leftovers. Rather than burn fuel for nothing, we set course for Ghost Hollow. Now, Ghost Hollow ain't marked on any map, but every salvager worth their salt knows about it. A derelict Aegis reclaimer buried in the ice and snow, twisted into a makeshift settlement. Some say it's cursed, others say it's just another outpost. But one thing's for sure, the Nine Tails tend to hang around there, and that makes it a dicey stop. We came in low, skimming over the wreckage. The place was quiet. Too quiet. No comms chatter, no movement. My recruit tensed up in the back, muttering something about how quiet places are where trouble's breedin'. And I had to agree. Didn't take long before we made up our minds. No sense pushing our luck. If the Nine Tails were lurking in the shadows, best we leave them be. We turned tail and headed back home to Port Tressler for the night. As we docked up, my recruit leaned back on the bed, smirking. Not the worst run, she said, but next time let's bag something bigger. I just laughed, powered down the ship, and took one last look out at the stars. The verse don't always pay out, but it always keeps things interesting. We'll see y'all on the next adventure. Thanks for sticking around for this tale.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.